workout. For today's workout, the equipment we're going to need, first of all, you want a suitable space. So it's a good idea to sort of take a look around, make sure there's nothing you're going to step on, trip on, roll an ankle on, and that might even like be catching an edge of a carpet or something like that, or a piece of furniture. Okay, another thing I've got handy here, I have a very stable chair without rollers and without arms. Okay, this chair, it's got very sticky feet. So I know it's not going to go anywhere, okay? Absolutely no wheels, right? And then you don't want a chair that will pivot or rotate. So it's a good idea to have a chair handy without arms that doesn't rotate. And if it's, kind of if your surface isn't real solid, you can back that chair up against a wall or a heavy piece of furniture. Also, I've got a couple lightweight dumbbells over here. So these are 5-pounders. If you don't have dumbbells, that's fine. You can do these exercises without them, or if you can grab a couple water bottles or a couple cans of soup or whatever to add a little weight if you so desire, you can grab that. And as always, I like to keep a water bottle handy, and we'll take little periodic water breaks throughout the workout. Okay, so we're going to slowly start getting going here. Now I have a couple mottos. Anybody who's taken my class knows I'm a man of many mottos. My first and foremost motto is, you've heard of the expression, no pain, no gain. My motto is no pain, no pain. If something hurts, we don't do it. All right, we just let that one go. And I'll be giving exercises in the progression. We'll start off with a slightly easier modification, and then the exercises will get a little bit more challenging. So what you want to do is stay within your comfort level, right? And another one, my second motto is do your best and forget the rest, right? Okay, if we get to a point where the exercise seems to be becoming a little bit more advanced for your current stage of fitness, then just, settle for the easier modification, and I will show modifications that you can do all these exercises seated as well, or at least most of them anyway. Okay, my third motto is if you need a break, take one. Like I said, my other classes, I can actually see the people, the participants, and I can tell when they're staying with me and when they need a break. I can't see you, so you just need to take a break when you feel that is necessary. All right, well, let's go ahead and get up and get moving and get active. I'm going to start with just a nice, easy warm-up, just marching in place. Again, make sure you got plenty of room. Start off nice and easy. If you want to work from a chair, you can just start marching in place in your chair. And why don't we practice a little bit of dual tasking here, all right? So let's go through the alphabet, okay? I threw a couple examples of animals and adjectives. So think to yourself, okay, what's an animal that begins with the letter A? And what might be an adjective to describe that animal, like maybe an anxious antelope? I mentioned adventurous aardvark earlier, okay? Or maybe it's an angry anteater. Right, maybe think of something at home there, okay? And then letter B, well, how about a boisterous baboon or a belligerent badger, right? And maybe letter C, let's see if we can come up with C. Well, I mentioned cantankerous cat earlier. How about a cranky caterpillar? All right, letter D, how about a dangerous dog? Right, or maybe, let's see if I can come up with another one here. Or good old Daffy Duck, right? For those of you who like the Walt Disney scene. All right, E, I'm going to come up with maybe an eloquent elephant. All right, you can carry on if you want to. I'm going to take that into light and bouncy mode. Another example is maybe switch over to cars. Okay, so let's see. What would be a car beginning with the letter F? How about a Ferrari? Okay, and maybe that's a color beginning with the letter F. Maybe you can think of someone, you can think of you out there at home, color beginning with the letter F. All right, so I'm up in the light and bouncy mood. Okay, we're going to keep that going here. All right, I'm going to change that to baby squats, big arm swings, a little bit of bend in the knees and the hips, lots of swing in the arms. Make sure you got plenty of room. So if you're working out with somebody, make sure you got plenty of room so you're not striking anything or anybody. All right, I'm going to add a little side step to that. So I'm going to step a little to the right, step a little bit back to the left, keeping the arm swing, just adding some nice lateral movement to that. I'm going to change my arm movement. So I'm going to reach the left arm across the body to the right, right arm across the body to the left. Notice I'm still keeping those feet moving. Oh, I should show some demonstration with some of these things. You want to do it seated. Those of you working from the chair. And I'm going to change my arm movement. I keep the feet moving. I change my arm movement to a big overhead arm sweep. If I'm standing, it's going to look something like this. So kind of take that arm, that shoulder through its full range of motion. And feel free to move at your speed. If I'm moving a little quick for you, slow it down. If you want to move a little faster, you go ahead and do that. So to pick a speed that works for you, I'm going to turn that into some trunk twisters so the elbows are up. This is to warm up the midsection, the core, the back a little bit. Notice I'm still keeping those feet moving. You can see my hips are turning maybe 45 degrees in each direction. But if you look up at my shoulder girdle, it's turning more than 90 degrees, maybe closer to 120 degrees. So I'm getting a lot of good rotation in my spine, warming up those back muscles, working up those abdominal muscles. All right, let's work on the hips here. So hands on the hips, I'm going to do some hip circles. I'm going to swivel those hips as far as I can in every direction. I'm going to take those circles in the other direction now. All righty. For the next one, I'm going to use my chair. We're going to do some leg swings. So I'm going to grab hold of my chair. I'm going to stand behind it. And I'm going to start with the right leg, and I'm just going to take that leg and just kind of swing it nice and loose and freely from side to side. And continuing to warm up and loosen up those hip sockets. All right, then I'm going to take that same leg and I'm going to swing it forward and backward. Notice I'm swinging the opposite arm with that leg. All right, leg number two, I'm going to take that side to side. And then I'm going to take that same leg now and swing it forward and backward. Again, I'm going to swing the opposite arm with that leg. All right, done with leg slings. Let's work up, we'll loosen up the neck and shoulders a little bit. Move a little closer here so you can see me pretty well. All right, so I'm going to do some neck stretches. So when I'm stretching my neck, what I want to make sure is I want to make sure I'm not slouching. So I want to make sure I get my chest well lifted, my back and my neck nice and straight. So I don't want to try and rotate and move ahead when my neck looks like this, right? I call this the vulture shoulders. We want to avoid the vulture shoulders, right? We want to lift the chest, proud chest, shoulders back, back of the neck nice and long. All right, I'm going to start by just exhaling, gently bringing the chin down toward the chest and inhaling, slowly looking up. So your mantra when doing your neck stretches is slow, smooth, and gentle. So be kind to your neck. So inhale and looking up, exhale and gently looking down. And inhale up, nice and slow and smooth. Exhale down, nice and easy. And remember our first motto, no pain, no pain. So if something bothers you, one of these exercises bothers you, doesn't feel quite right, then we'll let that one go. All right, we're going to return to neutral. Now I'm going to do rotations looking right and left. So again, posturing up nice and straight or sitting up straight in your chair. Excellent. We're going to slowly rotate to the right, look out over the right shoulder. Inhale and come on back to center. Exhale, we're going to slowly take that to the left. And inhale and back to neutral and again to the right. And back to center and to the left. and center, and again right, and center, and left, and center. Let's go one more right, and back, and last one to the left. All right, one more for the neck. This is lateral flexion or head tilt. So I'm going to gently tilt my head toward my right shoulder, and then bring it back up, and then gently take it to the left, and on up, and again to the right, and up and left, and up and again right, and up and left. And let's go one more right, and up one more to the left, and back to neutral. All right, shoulder rolls. All right, so I'm going to give you the profile. So I'm going to begin by taking my shoulder blades forward, and then up, and then back, and then down. So forward, up, back, and down, and forward, and up, and back, and down, forward, up, back, and I'm going to add half an arm length or an elbow. So forward and up and back, really stretch open that chest and down. So forward and up, about shoulder height, and then back and down, and forward, and up, and back, and down, forward, up, back, and down. Now I'm going to stretch those arms and fingers out. Look at those nice big hands. Inhale, big breath in as we reach up, and exhale back and down. Inhale, forward and up, back and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down, and forward and up, and back and down. We're going to take it the other direction, starting with the shoulder blades only. So I'm going to go backward first, then up, then forward, then down, back, up, forward, and down, and back, and up, forward, down, back, up, forward. Let's add those elbows back, up, forward, and down, and back, and up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, up. Stretch those arms and fingers out. Big breath in as we reach back and up. And exhaling forward and down. And inhale back and up. Exhale forward and down. Inhale back and up. Exhale forward and down. One more like that. Big breath in as we reach back and up. Exhale forward and down. Done with arms, shoulders, and neck. All right, we're going to have to sit and work on the ankles a little bit. So go ahead and pull up your chair. I'm going to push myself back in the seat of the chair so I can float my legs up off the floor. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the toes back, and then we're going to point the toes. So if I pull them this way, it's called dorsiflexion. If I point them that way, it's called plantar flexion. And we're going to do this somewhere in the neighborhood of about 16 to 20 times. So you may or may not be aware of this, but the lower leg muscles are often largely responsible for balance. And we tend to fall as we get older. A couple reasons why. One is our reaction time slows. So maybe instead of catching ourselves here, we're trying to catch ourselves here. All right. The second thing is the reason why we fall is the muscles we use for balance, like these lower leg muscles, unless we're doing something to maintain the strength of those, they're going to atrophy. So we want to make sure we're doing something on a regular basis to keep those muscles strong and those ankle joints flexible. Let's do about maybe 4 more of these. So we're going to flex and point, flex, point, flex, and point. All right, I'm going to turn the soles of the feet in. That's called inversion. I'm going to angle the soles of the feet out. That's called eversion. So we're going to invert, evert, in, and out. Now, if you notice, I'm keeping my legs nice and stable here, nice and still. The only thing moving is my feet and my ankle joints. Trying to focus that movement to the ankle joint itself rather than using the whole leg for that movement. So in a second, we'll add some circles. You might already start feeling those shin muscles, calf muscles starting to warm up a little bit. They might start feeling a little warm. That's not a bad thing. All right, now I'm going to turn those into circles. So I'm going to circle inner to outer to start with. So my right foot's moving clockwise. My left foot's moving counterclockwise. So like I said, we'll do about maybe 16 to 20 of these in each direction. And now I'm really starting to feel those shin and calf muscles warming up. And I'm going to take those circles in the opposite direction now. Oh yeah, those calves are getting warm now. The shins are getting warm now. All right. Feet flat to the floor. I'm going to get right up on the edge of my chair, or close to it anyway. Okay, we're going to do a couple things. We're not quite done with the ankles yet. We're going to give you another example of dual tasking. All right, to start with, I'm just going to lift my heels up, and then I'm going to lift my toes up. Then I'm going to lift my heels up, and I'm going to lift my toes up. And we're going to do that a couple more times. And in a second, we're going to start adding not only body parts, but then mixing up the movements a little bit. So, as many of you I'm sure are aware, it's actually the left hemisphere of your brain that controls the right half of your body, right side of your body, and vice versa. Okay, when we start mixing it up like we're going to do now, I'm going to pick up one heel and the opposite toe. Okay, so now both halves of the body are doing something different. That means you're firing both halves of your brain. All right, it's giving you something, a little extra something to focus on. Now, I would recommend taking a look at your feet. Okay, make sure they're doing what you think they're doing. And again, you don't have to keep up with me, move at your own speed. You might think you're lifting a heel and a toe, but when you look down, you find out, oh, I'm only lifting a toe, but not the opposite heel. All right, we're going to do a couple more of those. All right, we're going to give the ankles a break now, and let's work on the hands. I'm going to start with my palms up, and then I'm going to turn the palms down. Palms up, palms down. Palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down. All right, now I'm going to flip one palm up. I'm going to have one palm up and one palm down, and then I'm going to pancake those. All right, one palm up, one palm down, back and forth. All right, feel free to move at your speed, and you can probably figure out what's going to happen next. Okay, I'm going to do both hands and feet, but they're going to be doing the same thing to start with. So I'm going to do palms up, toes up, and then I'm going to do palms down, heels up. Palms up, toes up, palms down, heels up. Let's do a few more of those. Palms up, toes up, palms up, heels up. Okay, here's the tricky part. All right, I'm going to have one palm up, one palm down, one heel up, opposite toe up. And we're going to go back and forth between those two movements. So you got four limbs doing something entirely different. Okay, so this is working multiple parts of your brain simultaneously, really getting lots of different parts of your brain to trigger and fire. Okay, and if you're having a hard time with that, it's a good reason for it, because it is hard. Okay, first time you do this, even the 10th time you do this, so this might be a little challenging. What you haven't seen me do is having an opportunity to practice this before I actually do it in front of you all. All right, just a couple more of these. Again, feel free to go slow. And again, take them, maybe even check your feet. Make sure your feet are doing what they think they're doing. All right, and that'll be enough of that. All right, we're going to work on standing up, okay? So, again, we're going to take this at a progression, and you may not get to the final stage of this progression, okay? There's going to be 3 different levels of this, okay? So we're just going to practice lifting our backside up 2 inches off the chair. I'm going to try not to use my hands. So I'm going to reach forward with my hands. I'm going to get my body way out over my legs, and notice my shins are essentially vertical here. I don't want my feet too far back or too far forward. So I want the shins more or less vertical. I'm going to reach way out with the arms and get my body weight way out over my legs, and I'm just going to pick my backside of about 2 inches off that chair, and then I'm going to put it back down, and then I'm going to sit back and relax a minute. I'm going to reach out again. Okay, 2 inches, buttocks back down, and sit back. Okay, so I'm going to reach forward, pause. I don't want to use momentum to bring myself up. I'm going to lift up 2 inches, and then back down, and then back we go. Once again, 2 inches, hips back down, and back down. Okay, this time, once I lift 2 inches, I'm going to pause there for a second. Then I'm going to drive through my heels, and I'm going to stand up the rest of the way. So I'm going to reach out 2 inches. I'm going to push up the legs, reach the arms up, reach the arms forward, back to 2 inches. I'm going to stop at 2 inches, and then all the way back down. So if you're having a hard time getting up, you can use your hands if you have to, or you might just do the 2 inches again and sit right back down. All right, so arms reach out, leaning forward, 2 inches, stand up, reach up, reach out, back to 2 inches, and all the way down. Catch a breath. Once again, reach. Torso's forward, 2 inches, stand up, reach out, back to 2 inches, all the way down, sit back. Well, let's go one more like that. Reaching out, 2 inches, stand up, reach up, reach out, back to 2 inches, and then all the way down. All right, the last thing I'm going to add to that is a heel raise. Once I stand up and reach my arms up, I'm going to lift my heels up. Now, the first time you do this, it's going to throw you forward a little bit, all right? So just be mindful. Okay, the chances are you're going to start wanting to kind of lean into, fall forward or lean a little bit forward in this. So go slow with the heel raise. We're going to pick our heels up, see if we can hold that up for 2 or 3 seconds. Again, you can always stick with one of the previous modifications, and if you're concerned about your balance, just leave your heels on the floor. All right, so I'm going to reach out 2 inches, stand up, reach up, heels up for 2, 1, but heels back down, arms reach out, back to 2 inches, all the way down. Catch your breath. Once again, reach 2 inches, drive through the heel, stand up, reach up, heels up, 2 and 1, heels down, reach out, 2 inches, all the way down. I'm going to go for a 3-second count this time, all right? Once again, reaching out, 2 inches, drive through the heel, stand up, reach up, heels up for 3, 2 and 1, heels down, reaching out, hips back, 2 inches, all the way down. Absolute last one of these, folks. We're reaching up, drive through the heel, stand up, reach up, the heels up for 3, 2 and 1, heels down, reaching out, 2 inches, all the way down. And let's catch our breath. Actually, this would be a good time to take a little water break here. So I'm going to reach over here, find my water bottle, get a little sip of water, and get ready for our next exercise. All right, next exercise, I'm going to do what I call a sumo squat. And then I'm going to stand up and I'm going to throw a punch, and then I'm going to raise the opposite leg. Okay, if you want, you can keep a chair in front of you for balancing purposes. Let me show you what we're getting into here. And then I'm going to move the chair just so you can have a better visual. But you want to keep a chair in front of you, maybe for the squat, maybe for the part where we stand on one leg. Okay, so if you look at my feet, I call this my double wide stance. My feet are actually wider than the chair legs, or quite a bit greater distance than my shoulder width. Okay, second thing, my toes are kind of angling out here a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to drop into that sumo squat. So I'm going to push my hips back, keep my chest up. Okay, and we're going to bring ourselves up like that. All right, so you can use your hands on the chair to start with. We're going to drop into that squat. All right, let me show you from a profile so you can see how I push my hips back rather than my knees forward. Back into that squat and down. So just go as low as is comfortable for you. Your squat may not look like my squat. All right, so let's do a couple more of those. Deep squat, down we come. Let's go one more like that, and up we come. All right, I'm going to add a little something to that now. I'm going to add a leg lift to that. So I'm going to drop into my squat. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to bring the right leg up. And when I bring that, when I put the foot back down, I want to make sure I maintain that nice wide stance. I'm going to drop into that squat again. And this time I'm bringing the left leg on up. And back we go. And again, squat. Right leg up. And down. Squat. Left leg up. And down. Now let's go hands free. All right, so I'm going to drop into that squat. Put my hands on my hips. Up we come. I'm going to bring the leg up. Back to my wide stance. Squat. If you need to hold on to that chair, please do so. I'm going to bring the other leg up. Back to the wide stance, so I don't want my stance to shrink on me. Squat, right leg up, back to the wide stance, squat, and left leg up. All right, now we're going to add a little, again, more dual tasking. Okay, so as I raise this right leg, I'm going to throw a punch with the left hand. So again, I'm using both the right and left halves of my body, so it looks something like this. My hands are going to be up here in fighter stance position. I'm going to drop into my squat. I'm going to bring the right leg up and throw a punch with the left hand. Then we go back to that wide stance, drop into my squat. Now left leg up, right hand throws a punch. Boom. You'll be tempted to throw the punch with the same side of the leg you're lifting. Back to our squat, right leg up, left hand punch, boom. Wide stance, back to the squat, left leg up, right hand punches. Let's go one more each side like that, squat. Right leg up, left hand punch, boom. One more, second side squat. Left leg up, right hand punch, and boom. All right, now you can do exactly what I just did. Let's just take a little mini break here, a little 30-second mini break. I'm going to add a little weight to that. You don't have to. Okay, so I'm going to grab my 5-pound dumbbells here. Okay, just watch for the first one. Don't try and do this with me just yet. Okay, so I'm going to have my weights up here right next to my chin where I had my hands before. I'm going to do that squat again. I'm going to raise a leg, and this time instead of punching forward, I'm going to punch straight upward. And then, so it's going to require a little bit of balance, right? So again, if you need to keep the, not engage the weights, just leave the weights down. If you need to hold on to that chair, just continue to hold on to the chair. All right, let's try that together now. All right, so we're going to drop into our squat. If you're going without weights, you can just punch forward again. Otherwise, raise the right leg, push the left hand up, back to that wide stance. Once again, drop into that stance, squat. Now left leg up, right hand punches either upward or forward. Back to the wide stance, squat. Right leg up, left hand out or forward. Wide stance, squat. Left leg up, right hand punches. Again, squat. Right leg, left hand, boom. Wide stance, squat. Left leg, right hand. Let's go one more each side, squat. Right leg, left hand. Absolute last one, squat. Left leg, right hand, boom, and done. All right, let's put the weights down, march in place. Call this active recovery. We don't want to stop moving entirely. We want to kind of keep that heart rate up a little bit. Okay, we're going to give the lower body a little break here, and we're going to do some good old-fashioned push-ups or chest presses. So we're going to use the chair. We're not going to drop down to the floor. While you're still marching in place, let me give a quick demonstration. All right, so I'm going to have my hands on the chair. I'm going to step back a little bit. Now, like I said, these chairs have very sticky feet. I've been working here almost 3 years. I've yet to have one slide on me yet. If your chair doesn't have the sticky feet, you want to back it up against a heavy piece of furniture or a wall. Now, we're going to do a chest press or a push-up. So we'll go down, then we're going to go back up. Now, I'm keeping 1 foot forward, but you don't have to, all right? You can step both feet back. I got 1 foot forward, just in case, A, the chair moves, B, maybe I get down here, and I don't have quite the upper body strength to push myself back up just using my arms, so I can use that leg instead. Okay, if you look at my shoulders while I'm doing this, okay, again, I want to avoid the vulture shoulders. I'm going to pull my shoulders back and down. And if you look at my upper arms, I'm going to turn the biceps outward. All right, so we're going to grab the corners of the chair, either 1 foot forward or both legs back. So another thing we'll do when we're counting off reps here at CEP, we could just count to 10 or 12, but that's pretty boring, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to count to either 30 or 36 by threes, all right? So I'm going to inhale down. And when I push myself up, I'm going to give a number. So there's 3. All right, inhale down, exhale up. I hope you're counting at home. That is 6. Inhale down, exhale up. There's 9. Inhale down, exhale up. There's 12. Inhale down, exhale up. 15. Inhale down, exhale up. 18. Inhale down, exhale up. 21. And down we go, and up, 24, down, and up. Hope you're counting at home. 27, down, up, 30. 2 more if you got it in you. Down we go, up we come. 33, down, and up, and 36. All right, we're back to marching in place or active recovery. We will do 1 more set of those. And just to make it a little more interesting, why don't we count backward from 35 by threes this time? We don't want to count back just like starting at 36 because we just kind of did those numbers. That's too easy, right? So we're going to count backward from 35 by threes this time. Just a few more seconds break here. All right, let's get 1 more set of those in there. All right, so hands are back to the chair. Again, shoulder blades down. Arms externally rotate, so I'm turning the elbows backward. I'm going to put the opposite foot in front this time just to mix it up a little bit. All right, so once again, inhaling down, exhale, I'm going to push up. When I get to the top, I'm going to call out a number. Again, we're counting backwards from 35 by threes. Away we go. Inhale down, exhale, pushing up. There's 35. Down we go. Exhale, up we come. 32, down, and up. 29, down, and up. 26, down, and up. 23, down, and up. 20, down, up. 17, down, and up. 14, down, up. 11, just a few more, folks, down, and up. There's 8, down, and up. 5, last one, folks, down, and up. And 2, and done with push-ups. All right, a little more active recovery. All right, we're going to do one more complex for the upper body. This one's a little complicated, and then I'm going to be putting 4 exercises together in one exercise. All right, let me grab my dumbbells. Again, you can either do it without the dumbbells, just kind of flexing your arms, flexing your biceps. These exercises, last exercises emphasize the chest and the triceps and the fronts of the shoulders. This complex is going to emphasize the upper back, the biceps, and the rear of the shoulders, the rear deltoids. Okay, I'm going to show you from the little from the oblique angle here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a hip hinge. Now, it's real important. I put a little bend in my knees, but it's real important. If you look at my back, I want to keep my back nice and straight here. Okay, so I got a little bend in the knees, deep bend in the hips, but the important thing is make sure you're not rounding in the back. Don't try to go too deep forward and around your back. I'm kind of keeping the shoulders pinned back. So think proud chest. So I'm going to hinge forward. While I'm in this position, I'm going to do what I call a rear delt fly. So I'm going to take my arms out to the side, and then I bring them back down. This time I'm going to pull the elbows in tight. This is called a bent over row. Then I'm going to stand up nice and tall. I'm going to do a bicep curl. And then watch my wrist. I'm going to rotate them, pronate the wrist, and I'm going to do what we call an upright row. I'm going to pull those weights right up to my chin, and we're going to do about a half a dozen of those. All right, so feet about hips distance to shoulder distance apart. Okay, proud chest, pull those shoulders back. Keep the shoulders back as you hinge forward. Rear delt fly, so take your elbows out to the side. Bring them back down. This time elbows in tight, bent over row. Lower your weights, stand up tall. Again, proud chest, bicep curl. Lower your weights, rotate your wrists, pronate the wrist, and then upright row. Weights just underneath the chin, not trying to lift them any higher than the shoulders. Once again, bent over row, or bent over rear delt fly. Weights down, bent over row. Okay, lower your weight, stand tall, bicep curl. Weights are down, turn the wrist, upright row. 2 down, 4 to go. Okay, hip hinge, knees bent, hips bend, back nice and straight. Bent over rear delt fly, bent over row. Weights down, stand tall, bicep curl. Weights are down, rotate the wrist, upright row. We are halfway there, folks. All right, hip hinge. Rear delt fly, arms out to the side, weights down, bent over row, arms in tight, weights down, stand tall, bicep curl, weights down, rotate wrist, upright row. 2 more reps, folks. We're hinging. Rear delt fly, weights down, bent over row, weights down, stand tall, bicep curl, weights are down, rotate wrist, upright row. Weights down. We got 1 more, folks. Hip hinging, rear delt fly, bent over row, stand tall, proud chest, bicep curl, weights down, rotate, upright row. And we are done with the weights, folks. Actually, we're done with the hard part. We're just going to head for cool down and stretch now. So I'm going to set those weights aside. Let's maybe take a little water break while we're at it here. Get a sip of your water while we got a chance here. All right, just a little more active recovery, just a little slow march in place. And we're going to stretch all those muscles that we just worked. All right, we're going to start the shoulders and work our way down. So I'm going to bring the right arm across the chest. With my left arm, I'm going to reach just above the elbow from underneath. I'm going to pull that arm nice and close to my chest. You should feel a stretch right there in that deltoid muscle. And let's go ahead and switch it out. So left arm across the chest, right arm reaches underneath, get it just above the elbow, hug that arm in nice and tight. And release. This one's going to be for the tricep muscle. All right, so I'm going to lower down a little bit so you can see me. I'm going to bring that arm up toward the ceiling, and then I'm going to bend that elbow and reach behind my head and neck. With the other hand, I grab that elbow. If you have a hard time getting that elbow, you can grab that hand. I'm going to pull that arm back just a little bit further behind the head, and then bring my head back up and kind of gently push against that arm with my head. And let's go ahead and switch it out. So left arm on up, bend the elbow, reach behind the head and neck. Right hand grabs either the left elbow or the hand and pulls the arm back a little further, and then gently bring your head back against the arm. And release. All right, next one's going to be for the bicep, the forearm, the wrist, and the finger. So start by externally rotating that right arm. You want to make sure the elbow's straight, and then you're going to use the left hand to gently draw the right fingers back. And let's switch that on out. So left arm externally rotated. Again, straighten the elbow. Use the right fingers to gently pull the left fingers back. All right, for the chest and shoulders, so I'm going to reach behind my back and interlace your fingers if you can, and I'm going to pull those shoulders back to stretch open the chest. And for the last 3 or 4 stretches, I'm going to use my chair. So I'm going to have to sit in my chair, and I'm going to get right up on the front edge of my chair. This one's for the whole upper back body. So I'm just going to basically drape my body over my legs, let my head and neck hang heavy, let my arms and shoulders hang heavy, and be a lovely stretch in your upper back. You can use your hands on your knees to help push yourself back up. All right, this one's for the hamstrings. So I'm going to take my right leg and I'll get right up on the front edge of my chair. If I sit back in the chair, you can see it forces a buckle in my knee, which I want to avoid. So I'm going to get right on the front edge of the chair, and notice the knee is fully extended and the ankle is flexed. I'm back to that dorsiflexion. Left hand's going to be on the left leg for support. Inhale, and I lift the chest. Exhale, and I gently hinge forward from the hips and just slide that right hand down the right leg any amount comfortable until you feel a nice stretch in the back of that right leg. And up we come. All right, changing legs, left leg straight, left ankle flexed, right hand on right leg. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, hinge forward slowly and gently. And don't forget to breathe while you're in these stretches. Nice deep breaths through the nose. And inhale on up. All right, avoid this next one if you've had a hip or knee replacement. I'm going to cross my right ankle over the left knee. I'm not going to force the knee down. I'm just going to let that hand rest on that leg, but I'm not going to try and push that knee down. Okay, lifting the chest, I'm going to gently hinge forward from the hips. Now, we want a lovely stretch in the hip, but no pain in the knee. Make sure there's no pain or discomfort in your knee. If there is, remember our motto, no pain, no pain. So you want to back out of that. Inhale on up. We got one more side of that. Okay, left ankle over right knee. Again, unless you've had a hip or knee replacement on that side. Lift the chest, hinge from the hips, gently lean forward until you feel a nice stretch in that hip. And again, we want zero pain in the knee. And we got up we come. We got one more for the quadriceps, folks, and then we are done. I'm going to scoot a little to the right side of my chair. I'm going to pull that right foot back. Notice I'm going to keep my toes curled under, and I'm leaving myself a little room to lean back, and slowly and gently lean back until you begin to feel a nice stretch in the front of that thigh. Okay, and release one more side of that, and we are done. All right, scooting a little to the left, left foot back, Gently lean back until you feel a nice stretch in the front of that left thigh. And release. Well, thank you very much for joining me today, folks. I salute you. Hope you went well at home. I couldn't see you, but I'm hoping you guys were able to stay with me on that program. Thanks for joining me. I know Megan's got a few more words she'd like to share with you. So I'll turn it back to Megan.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you so much for getting into all of the things that we know keep us independent as long as possible at home, which is all the ankle work, the stepping, the crouching down like we're getting something. And it's a lot of comments coming into the chat from folks that have been joining us week after week saying, great workout. Thank you very much. And so thank you for the workout today. And I just want to remind everybody that next week we'll be coming back for Tai Chi. And the week after that, we'll be doing yoga. So stay active with us this summer. And if you are interested in joining in-person programming here during the summer in the Atlanta area for those who have mild cognitive impairment, our email I just put into the chat is the way to get in touch with us to join. So please, please, please let us know if you'd be interested in coming into this center, this beautiful center we have here at Emory. And otherwise, we'll see everybody next week. Thank you so much, Mark. And I hope
Okay,
everybody
thank you.
enjoys the
All
rest
right,
of your
thanks for joining me,
day.
folks.